Yo guys, welcome back to another video. Today we are taking a look at the universal female villain characters in the game. Jean Grey has been around forever as the only universal villain female character in the game. But with the recent update, we received two new universal villain female character uniforms, and in this video we're going to be putting them up to challenge to see which character and uniform is the best. So yeah, before we get into battle, we're taking a look at each and every single one of their builds. So we're going to be putting them up against each other in 4 different PvE scenarios and seeing who comes out on top. So yeah, without further ado, let's get straight into it. Now we're going to be starting with farming. In this case, we're going to be taking each character into a rift run and seeing how they perform. Now, I'm starting with Captain Marvel. Usually, you wouldn't really see non-elemental damage characters used for farming. However, with the recent update, you can use non-elemental characters to deal like significantly less damage but still deal some damage to actually complete the stages. So yeah, someone like Captain Marvel can be a viable pick for farming nowadays. But in rifts, you don't really need elemental damage. So yeah, if she performs good here, it's a good outcome for her as a character. But yeah, with that, our first scores are on the board, with Captain Marvel completing one stage in 44 seconds. Now we can start with Jean. We're using a different team here because her best team is this specific one with Satana lead, but previously she's been usable for farming, and with her elemental damage, her flame damage, she was given a lot of like value for like story mode farming. But with the recent changes, as I said, she has lost some value, but she wasn't the best pick anyways. So yeah, it already seems like she's like falling short of Captain Marvel's time, and she ends the run with 55 seconds, which is like 11 seconds slower than Captain Marvel. Now to end it off, we have Scarlet Witch. I don't expect her to do that well in like farming in general, even though she deals mind damage. Her skills are too long because like her kit is built around Alliance battle. So yeah, she's taking way too long. As we can see, like each skill plays out completely and is eating up time like crazy. So yeah, I wouldn't recommend using her for farming at all. Even with like your best build, she is gonna perform a lot slower than other, farming characters who have like the perfect kit for farming. For example, someone like Thor, Rogue. And in this testing scenario, Captain Marvel also was really good comparatively. So yeah, we end almost double the time. Yeah, 1 minute 30 seconds is absurd. But yeah, that ends our farming segment. Now we can move on to World Boss Legends. We're starting with Captain Marvel again. We're using the same leader to keep things consistent. But yeah, let's see how she performs here. Previously, we used her here. She did decently in her dedicated like new uniform comparison video. But yeah, let's see how she does here. I wouldn't be surprised if she like does as well as Jean, but you have to take into consideration that her build is significantly worse. I don't have like a maxed out uniform, like a mighty rage or anything, but yeah, she ends it with like less than 2 minutes on the clock, which is still pretty decent. So yeah, numbers on the board again for World Boss Legends. Now we can see how Jean does. I expect her to do well. She has a mighty rage on her, and yeah, she's been known to perform really well in World Boss Legends. She also holds overall value in like other PvP game mode like GBR and Zombie Survival, which I don't think Captain Marvel and Wanda will be holding, given their kit does not have like a lot of burst damage. It's all just gradual damage compared to Jean. When she activates her tier 3 skill, she deals an insane amount of damage. But yeah, we end the run with slightly more than 1 minute 30 on the clock. That's a significant improvement compared to Captain Marvel. We have our stats on the board, and now we go on to the final run with Wanda. I expect her to do really well in this run specifically compared to the other two characters, because she has an insane amount of hits in her rotation, and she also has the best build I have compared to the other two. She has a brilliant rage on her because she's very useful for alliance battle, for my account specifically. But yeah, you can already see she's absolutely shredding this stage. She's ending, okay, she ended pretty close to Jean, not too far off, like 10 seconds plus minus. But yeah, that's pretty good from her, as expected. I expected a little bit better, but like it's like Jean Grey is well within margin for like a non-brilliant build. But yeah, now we can move on to alliance battle. Here I don't expect Captain Marvel to do really well because she has abysmal amounts of hits in her new rotation, or like new like kit. She goes to like what, 60 or 70 hits. But yeah, she has 2 out of 3 cancels for Alliance Battle Extreme. She only misses like burn in her kit, and she also qualifies for like 2 restrictions: villain female and universal villain. I don't think you're gonna be using her in universal villain because Mephisto is the best for that game, like for that specific day. And for the villain female day, you can use like Gwenpool or something, and the other 2 characters in this testing is already, you know, a better preference in my opinion. So yeah, she struggles to even cross like 12 million as you can see. And yeah, even with like the best striker I could have possibly offered, Ghost Rider, she isn't able to even cross 13 million. And yeah, that is just not like the standard for my account, so I would definitely avoid her for this specific game mode. But we still get the scores on the board, and now we can move on to Jean. Jean has been meta for the universal villain day for the longest time, before Mephisto actually came into the, like, before Mephisto actually got his tier 4. But yeah, she's been meta for those 2 days that I talked about, and not to mention she has all 3 cancels as well, so making her a little bit more versatile compared to Captain Marvel. But yeah, I genuinely love Jean Grey as a character from the comics as well. However, when I play her in Alliance Battle, I absolutely hate her second skill. It like has ruined so many runs for me. It keeps like, you know, like going in a different direction and like negatively impacting my score. So yeah, even for this run I had to try like 3 or 4 times so that I didn't mess up the second skill. I always was cautious when I played it, and I made sure like there wasn't a lot of enemies nearby when I played it. But yeah, we end the run slightly short of 17 million. It's an average score for me with Jean, and yeah, I've been happy with this score. But with the introduction of Scarlet Witch and Mephisto for the Universal Villain Day, I don't think I'll be using Jean anymore. Bringing us on to the final ABX run with Wanda. She has all 3 cancels and qualifies for those 2 same days. And I think if the score is more competitive, I might even like, you know, use her instead of Mephisto. But I really doubt that. I don't think she's gonna reach 18 million anytime soon for me. But yeah, she's very easy to use. You just cancel everything into the 5th skill, and she's been doing wonders for me. And yeah, let's see how she does here again. Specifically, if you want like a more extensive Scarlet Witch video where I compared her with her old uniform, you can check out the video I did on her. But yeah, we end the run crossing Jean's score with ease. But yeah, we're extremely close to actually being able to reach 18 million. If I played her a little better, maybe I would reach 18 million. But yeah, 17.4. I'm pretty happy with that result. That ends our Alliance Battle Extreme testing. Now we can move on to the final testing with Alliance Battle Legends. Now we're starting with Captain Marvel. I don't expect great things from her. but compared to the other two characters that we're testing here, she qualifies for one extra day of Alliance Battle Legends, the human female day. Usually you'd use Luna Snow, and if you don't have her paywall uniform, you'd use like someone like Gwenpool maybe. But yeah, that gives her like added value. But honestly, you are not gonna use her because her score is abysmal, specifically with this uniform. I think you're gonna score a little bit better with her previous uniform. But yeah, she has 2 out of 3 cancels for this as well. She only misses like shock in her kit. But apart from that, yeah, as you can see for yourself, the score isn't really that great. I would expect her to score like 10 million, or like I would expect my characters to score at least 10 million in this specific like game mode. Even if you aren't built to the max with a rage, you're usually supposed to score 10 million for my account. But yeah, we end like short of 9 million as well. Yeah, I'm not gonna use her in any of the Alliance Battle game modes at all. But yeah, now we can move on to Jean Grey. I usually struggle to score really high in this game mode specifically. I don't know why. Maybe it's because of the second skill and like how like random it is. But yeah, she qualifies for the one day, the universal female day, and she only has 1 cancel in her kit. Maybe that plays a part because you have to use the strikers, you know, specifically for the cancels, negatively like affecting your score. So she misses like fracture and shock in her kit. That makes her like less versatile. Not to mention she also misses like a V-pad in her kit. So occasionally you might find yourself finding trouble picking up the Odin's Might, or like delaying in picking up the Odin's Might. But apart from that, she's pretty basic and like easy to play. As you can see, like the second skill is always being a pain in the ass. But yeah, I think we're gonna cross 12 million, or actually never mind, with the second skill negatively affecting us, we actually seem to be failing to cross 12 million. That's pretty sad given how good of a character she is. But now we can move on to the big dog Wanda. Let's go. We already seen her perform really good in the previous video. She has 2 out of 3 cancels. She's only missing shock in her kit, similar to Captain Marvel. However, compared to Captain Marvel, she is an absolute beauty. She deals significant amount of damage from every single rotation, given she has so many hits in her rotation. And yeah, we can just see for ourselves how good she is. Similarly, she only qualifies for the one day, the universal female day. However, she still misses the V-pad that I usually look for in characters for Alliance Battle Legends, but it doesn't really affect her that much negatively because she's able to, like, you know, deal so much damage. But yeah, we crossed 12 million with ease, and we have reached 14 million before, but at this rate with this run, I don't think we're going to be able to reach 14 million. Yeah, it seems like we're going to be short of 14 million by a very small margin. But still, great results from Wanda. I'm actually very impressed at how close Jean Grey was, but still, Wanda just takes it by a landslide. So yeah, that ends the testing. Let's compare the stats real quick. So yeah, starting with farming, surprisingly Captain Marvel was the best. It's because her skills are short and deal a lot of damage. I think that's why she was the best. But yeah, moving forward, Scarlet Witch takes the cake. She's slightly better than Jean, but is massively better than Captain Marvel in every aspect, specifically for ABX and ABL. And yeah, as you can, the stats speak for itself. She's actually just insane. Jean is such a cool character, and she's been out for so long, and she's been on top of the PvE meta for so long. But I think it's time that we put her down and put Wanda in her seat. Wanda is just insane, and for the value she provides, I think she's absolutely worth it to invest in as a native tier 2 character. Especially with Jean's price tag being 6,600 crystals just to unlock, I think it's a no-brainer to invest in Wanda. As for Captain Marvel, especially with this uniform, I think you have better value in PvP. However, you do need the paywall weapon hex uniform, which a lot of you might not have access to. So if you want, you can build Captain Marvel with her previous uniform, but I still think you're wasting your tier 4 materials and you're better off building Wanda for the overall value in PvE. So yeah, with that being said, this is the end of the video. Be sure to leave your thoughts down below and like and subscribe for more content. Have a great one, guys. Peace.